Just go on your YouTube.
Hello, YouTube. It is Commander Nerd, and I am here with two guests, Robin Vogt and Sean Michaud. This is kind of the return for my anime review series. I've introduced them to Attack on Titan. We finished episodes 1 to 5. We're going to give a review as a whole. I've watched Attack on Titan before. This is their first time seeing it, so I will let them start and give their thoughts on it before they really started to watch Attack on Titan, what they thought it might be like or anything like that. So, Sean or Robin, one of you can start.
For me, I think before starting to watch it, I heard great things about it. I never got into anime. I mean, I have, but like I limit myself of what I watch, I guess. But coming into Attack on Titan, I kind of expected to be like that because I know anime is like that,
Yeah.
and like it's pretty violent show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Robin
overall,
or Sean.
sorry, I was
Sorry.
gonna say, overall, I think this series so far, 1 through 5, it's really good. The storytelling's amazing so far.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't what was I gonna say? It doesn't miss what they're trying to
It
go.
doesn't drag on too much
Yeah,
like
it
some
doesn't drag.
animes do.
Yeah, yes, thank you. It doesn't drag on, and I think it's a great anime so far. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm thoroughly impressed by all of it so far. I mean, I wasn't really ever an anime person going into this. I think you and I, Sean, Andrew, I think we've been to our fair share of conventions where there's such an anime presence at it, and I've
Mm-hmm.
heard nothing but good stuff about Attack on Titan for so many years. I mean, um, just from people at conventions that Sean and I have done in particular, and everybody's always said to me like it's a series you should watch. You should really, if you want to really get into anime
Mm-hmm.
and you're into kind of, and it was interesting because you had said this, Andrew, you'll probably like the government aspect of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it really did hit home for me. I think that was a great element to it. I'm really impressed by the first 5 episodes, and it really packs a punch. And I think that the gore of it now, if you're not used to that, and
Yeah.
I'm not used to seeing anime with this kind of gore involved inside of it, but and it's something I'm adjusting to myself. But you know what? When gore can line up with storytelling, and gore can make sense with how the story should move forward,
Mm-hmm.
then it works perfectly.
Yeah.
And it was easy to get into. I'll say that about it. It was easy to get behind the characters.
Yeah. Now, I have been watching since it started back in 2013 when they started coming out with episodes. Now, we'll briefly talk about each episode. So, the first episode, which is when the shit hits the fan, like literally.
Pretty much.
the very beginning, mostly.
And it starts with obviously the Colossal Titan looking over them. Then it cuts to the scouts trying to kill a Titan. And then their mission fails. That's the common thing you'll notice with the scouts is they continue to do these missions, but the success rate of them is very rare. I'll
Right.
give you that. I'll let you know about that. Now, we are watching the English dub. Yeah, I know people prefer sub over dub, whichever.
It depends because I
Yeah.
watched One Punch Man, but it was the English dub. So no, sorry, English sub,
Mhm.
which is very different.
But I do think as a group, it's easier to just do the English dub instead of trying to keep up with the subtitles and everything.
And especially with the lag on the stream
Yeah.
which we're recording on Zoom right now. So
Yeah.
it's probably harder to do with that.
Now,
Anyways,
Yeah.
what do you guys think of the voice acting and stuff so far with the first episode and going forward? Are you?
I mean, I think I think the thing is too is like for a series for me, it takes a little bit of time for me to get used to the voice actors, their personalities in terms of, because I always envision them in the booth, trying to do their character.
Yeah.
And I think I'm
I try
starting to
not
get
to.
invested in these guys. I know you.
I try not to
before,
because I try to actually think about the characters themselves and the actors to get really into the characters.
Right.
Especially if it's English versus Japanese.
Yeah. It is definitely one of my favorite English dubs for an anime. I feel they do bring out the emotion a lot better than the sub version. I know a lot of people aren't going to like my opinion on that, but I can get emotionally more involved with the English version better. Now, the specific thing we're going to talk about for episode 1 is that scene. I think you guys might know what scene I'm talking about, but if not, Erin's mom.
Yeah.
Give your overall thoughts on that ending and everything like that, because we all know basically the Titan kicked in the wall, the Titans got in, and basically Erin's mom's legs were crushed under the house, and she got found by a Titan. Robin,
oh, sorry. Go ahead. Whoever.
Robin, you can start with this one.
I think there's an emotional turn there. I think we always related to our own parents. We always related to being put in like a very tough situation like that where it's life or death. But I think that there's always that connection of the parents saying, continue on, I've done what I've needed to do, keep going. And I think that that's an emotional tone, whether it's in anime, whether it's in film, whether it's in TV. It doesn't fucking matter. I apologize for swearing, but it doesn't matter because it really digs deep and digs home. And I think for an initial episode to build that emotion, it gives the main character the perspective of, I've seen this, I had to go through this, and it makes that character a little bit more relatable in that case.
Yeah. You understand his anger as the episodes go on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You really feel with him, like, why he's doing what he's trying to do, of course, kill these Titans. Yeah. And I think that scene also really sets up how violent / if you want to call it evil, the Titans are.
Yeah.
What they're capable of doing, especially to a human being.
And it shows you more of the violence of what the show is pretty much going to bring you. It didn't show you the Titan snapping her back, but you pretty much got the idea of what happened.
Yeah, I think that scene sets up how violent the show is.
Yeah.
If you're going in and you don't like that episode, you're probably not going to like the series.
Yeah, if it's too much for you, and this is where I've always drawn the line, because as Andrew knows, I've not always been a huge horror fan in my entire life. But I think the one difference with this, Sean, is like, I don't know if it's the magnitude of it because it's in an animated form that it just doesn't carry the same, but it does though. Like it's more mental in this case.
Also, I think it's more of like how unrealistic it is, which I like, and I like huge like Titans, kind of like Godzilla. I'm a huge Godzilla fan and all that.
Yeah.
Like I like when big monsters are there. I think it's a cool scene.
That's a good way of putting it. It is kind of that level of like there's a monster involved, so you kind of put it into that category.
But it makes it more interesting because it's more of the Titans are more humanized.
More humanized, yeah.
Which makes it even more creepy.
That's actually,
it totally does.
That was actually going to be my next question in episode 2. Because episode 1, we didn't get too much of a glimpse of what the Titans kind of look like besides the Colossal. But what was your overall reactions when seeing the Titans more in episode 2?
I like how they're very different Titans. Like, especially with the animators and the designers of the Titans are creating them, which I really like the designs of to make them how creepy it is.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. There's an aspect of like horror to it. Like they all have their own unique look,
Hmm.
and then we find out later on that they can regenerate, and just the idea that they're just nonstop. They keep going, and they all have these unique faces and unique builds. And but at the same time, there's an element to them that are they look like almost too human,
Yeah.
and it's like, whoa, hold on a second, like this makes this even more creepy.
Hmm. Now, with episode 2, it kind of shows like how fucked they are in that situation because they have no idea how to deal with anything because they've just lived in the walls for 100 years, and they're like, "Yeah, the walls are great; they're gonna hold up." Which Robin, you actually pointed out how they were like, "We'll just believe in this, and we're safe here and whatnot." Um, that is something you will see a lot going forward. The wall priests, they are a
Yeah.
constant thing in the series. You will find out the purpose of the walls going forward. Um, Besides to keep them safe, there's more to the walls than what they
I
have.
imagine.
Um, that was my cat. If you guys heard it. But episode 2, we were introduced to the Armored Titan, which I actually told you guys before is based off of Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And what did you guys think of the design for the Armored Titan and the Colossal Titan? I want to get your guys' thoughts on the Colossal Titan too.
Which one's the cost? Is the main
The
one?
more
The
muscle-looking one, the tallest one.
Yeah, I really like the design more design of the colossal one. It was just because more creepy, I think, than the other one. I don't feel threatened enough if for the armored titan, even though he's armored.
Yeah.
But
Mm,
but I do like the design of how it's different.
Mhm.
That
yeah. That's a good way of putting it. I'm actually in the same camp as you, Sean. I'm a huge fan of the Colossal Titan design. I feel like um, there's just something, I don't know. Again, I haven't watched a lot of anime, but when you see the Colossal Titan, it just feels like anime, like just the
Mhm.
design itself. I think the armored Titan is just a kind of a
it
cool
it
idea.
reminds me of the guy from X-Men from Deadpool. What's his
Yeah,
name again?
yeah, a
Oh,
little bit.
Colossus,
Colossus. Yeah,
which is funny.
Yeah.
yeah.
But there's just the armored Titan's cool. I see the Brock Lesnar reference. The
Mhm.
build is really cool as a WWE person and a UFC person. Watching that, it's really cool. But there's something cool about the Colossal Titan in
Yeah.
its design.
Now, um, we saw that they basically made half of the citizens that flee to the other wall try and reclaim Wall Mario, but it didn't work. Basically, all of them died. Like they said, yeah, it reduced famine or whatever in the section of the wall they were in, but it's like they basically just sent all those people to just die.
Essentially, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
which sucks, but I think
Yeah.
it's hard with a small human population during that
True.
time.
Um,
Which I do like the time setting, how early it is.
mhm.
Like it's not like futuristic or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've seen
Um,
a lot of anime does futuristic stuff, but they don't do enough.
mhm.
Like
Going fast, yeah.
yeah, going back in time, which is interesting.
Yeah. And getting up to episode 3, where they basically entered boot camp and whatnot. Um, what are your overall thoughts on the Commandants?
I mean, is that a little bit of like a was that full metal? What's
Full
Alchemist.
Metal Jacket. Jacket.
I was
yeah,
thinking
Full
about
Metal
it.
Jacket. It felt the same way, but it was like you could tell there was an appeal to it that was kind of like that, like the boot camp idea. Sir, yes, sir, kind of focused to it.
Mm.
Mhm.
I don't know. It kind of drew me back to that kind of focus, and that was really cool to see that, and especially in anime form too. Like to have our characters have to go through that. But I like the inner struggle within the moments that our characters go through.
Mhm.
We really start to see the different personalities of the different characters show up,
Yeah.
especially the girl that wants to eat all the time.
Sasha.
That's Sean's new favorite character. Sasha. That's his new favorite character. But I'll let Sean talk about her. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the episode 3, I think, like you said, Robin, I think it's very interesting to see how is it. I think it's a different shift of a because you got a lot of funny moments in that,
Mhm.
and you didn't see that much in episode 1 too. I think
True.
it's needed for a mood swing of the show, which is I think it was needed for some people, especially me or you, Robin, that we're not into that kind of gore stuff, that we need a laugh here and there.
It's true. There's that humor that you need built within it.
And like Sean said, you kind of need the balance there.
You can't have it straight on. Just mood depression.
I know Jean is one of your favorite characters, Robin. That wants to be in the military police.
That's been like our whole thing is defund the military police because it's just but it's funny because you see those kind of personalities show up in different places. They take it so seriously that it starts draining themselves, and we've seen these other characters that are like, hold on, this isn't going to help you against the Titans if you keep up this attitude. So I'd love to see those kind of conflicting personalities too. And John is like one of those characters where you're just like, you know what, you're just really a jerk.
I will say this, going forward, Jean probably has one of the best character arcs throughout the series so far.
And that's interesting that'll be interesting to see.
But like I said to you guys, the military police is probably the worst regiment in Attack on Titan.
Right.
You will see going forward that they're just the worst. I'm not giving too much of opinions on each episode because I've already watched them. These guys are giving their first reactions to them and whatnot. The next episode was them kind of training a little bit more. It was 2 years after their initial start, and they graduated, and then the graduation kind of didn't turn out so well. Robin, what exactly happened?
I'm even trying to recollect because that last episode was just.
I know.
I trying to even think back.
My brain is still in episode 5.
We had our boy Aaron basically being like, "Titans, be ready," and the Colossal Titans like, "Hey, bitch."
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yes, and it was there was no time for like enjoying, just graduating basically or a celebration. It was like, oh crap, we're being thrown into this now.
Yeah, too bad they can't celebrate with that big food that Sasha stole.
Yeah.
From the general
lump of meat.
That's why the Colossal Titans showed up.
It's exactly why. I wanted a sandwich.
I would too.
When because you had seen the clip before, but we'll get more into episode 5. What do you guys think of Eren taking a leadership role there? Like, trying to inspire his other comrades.
I think it was needed for them, but I don't think he needed to do it. Right? I felt like
got him in trouble.
Right. I mean, I feel like he needed to do it for them to get them ready to actually fight and stuff. But I don't think he needed to do it for himself.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ready.
It's funny because he's one of those characters where throughout the entire time, like just through the first 5 episodes, we watch his progression as a character. And the entire time he's like, they're not going to stop me. I'm not going to let this happen. I'm not going to let this happen. And then suddenly reality hits.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit.
It's like being on the internet.
But that's an important lesson though. is that no matter how much you talk yourself up into I'm going to get this done,
Hmm.
nothing ever prepares you for when it actually happens.
Exactly. And that's where you see them all panicking and it's like, shit, it's happening again.
Yeah.
This episode 5, besides the opening kind of trying to fight the Claus Titan, something happened at the end. Um, or near the end anyway. What happened, Sean?
Well, Aaron almost got eaten by Santa Claus and
Well,
saved
Armin almost got eaten.
Armin. Sorry,
Armin,
Armin. Yeah, Armin got almost eaten, and then Aaron did get eaten by
by Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. That's what we call him now. So
Yeah,
he's Santa Claus.
he has been classified as Santa Claus Titan, so
All right,
Makes sense.
but
it's funny how the Santa Claus Titan is the most human looked Titan.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Had a sweet beard though.
Yeah, he did.
That was a really nice beard. Kind of reminded me of my dad's beard. Kind of weird.
Why are you calling your dad a Titan?
Is that Dad Titan? Yeah, I'm calling
You
him
might
Dad
want to
Titan.
watch your dad closely now.
When you just tell him goodnight, Dad Titan.
I have to lock my door and everything. Jeez.
I don't think the door would stop him.
Smashes it right open.
I mean, look at the Claus Titan. It basically, in the first episode, it wound up his leg and kicked the hole in the wall.
Let me say this. Are the Titans really, like, craving humans? Or are they craving something else? They have to get through the humans first because they want to get to the king. Their entire thing is to get to the king.
It's basically the humans. I'm going to say this. Every question that you have for Attack on Titan generally does get answered in the coming episodes.
Okay.
Well, we kind of saw that with the teacher in episode 5. He was saying,
right.
Which I
love that.
I did like that scene because it was telling the backstory of the Titan itself, and it made me think of like how good the writers are doing for that, for what the Titans are.
And that's just it too. If you got that within episode 1 or episode 2, it would take away from what you've already seen. You have to see how much destruction they cause and how much pain they cause in others to then learn about them. And to be honest with you, when you listen to what their sole purpose is, you're kind of, it doesn't necessarily take away from what they've done, but then you're like, oh shit, like, hold on a second. Like, this is how they are.
Yeah.
Like, humans are basically the ants, and this is the ant eater.
Yeah.
It's coming to eat the smaller being, and it's the cycle of, it's the food chain, basically.
An analogy. I like that analogy.
So, and they mentioned, and they brought up the food. They brought up the food chain. I remember he said we are the lowest part of the food chain, and they are at the top.
Yeah, and it's funny how the Titans don't even want to consume animals too, which is
that brought it. I was like,
whoa! It was like they have some sort of maybe do they have intelligence? We don't know yet.
But it's animalistic. I think that's what's interesting about it. Like, sharks will go after humans, but only when humans are in the way of what they are trying to get to. So humans technically they don't consume to keep going, but the humans are in the way of what they want to actually get to.
Yeah, that makes sense. But before we do closing up stuff, few other things, who are your favorite characters so far? I will say this: don't get too attached to certain characters, though.
I've learned that from Game of Thrones. So, so far, I'm really enjoying. What's her name?
Mikasa.
Mikasa, yeah. I really like
Mikasa and Sasha. You like the most.
Well, I like Sasha because of the humor of it. And I like humor and dark stuff, so which is needed. And I like Mikasa because of how well her character developed her character is. And
the next episode, which would be 6, you'll get more of her backstory and will make you love her character even
Well,
more.
yeah, she has some good sense out of everyone, I think, too.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah, I agree, Sean.
she has her head right in the right place. I don't know.
Mhm.
That's why I'm going with Mikasa too, because there's something about her composure, the way that she holds herself,
Mhm.
that and it's funny. Maybe
She's
it's
more realistic to what, like that scene when she was
Thank
talking
you.
to
Yes.
Aaron, because like how about the fighting the Titans, and she's like trying to stop him, and he's like,
I'm gonna do it anyway.
do it anyways. You're not thinking realistically. That's what she's
Mhm.
basically saying to him, which
Yeah.
I like what she's thinking.
Yeah.
Sorry.
She's a level-headed character. She's somebody that you can't hate when watching because she is so level-headed. And I think she's the one character too that you keep watching and you see the development of the character. And it's funny. She doesn't develop necessarily as a character. She just gets older.
Mhm.
And it's because she's always had a level head the entire time.
Mhm.
And you need characters like that, and I think you need more characters like that.
Like the first episode when she's punches them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she's no different there as she is here. She's
Mhm.
just had more experience and has seen different things up to this point.
Yeah.
She's becoming wiser, I think.
Yes, she's gaining knowledge. She keeps her personality, but she's gaining knowledge.
Mhm. Yeah, mine, like I mentioned to you guys when we were watching, is Aaron and Levi. Levi, you were
Yeah.
kind of introduced to briefly as he doesn't like praise for his ability. As we get more introduced to the other scouts, and specifically Levi, you'll see why he's one of my favorite characters.
Levi's the one he level headed with Aaron, right? Before the fight, or no?
No, well, Levi is part of the scout regiment that was leaving with them, and they were like, "Oh, it's Captain Levi. He's like an entire garrison all to himself." He's like,
Oh, okay.
"Spare me,
Yeah.
please,"
Okay, now I remember.
because he hates praise and everything like that. So,
Right.
but yeah, Aaron, because of his drive, I want
Yeah.
to be like that, determined of how he is. Sometimes it's bad because he just is fire ready aim, which is bad because we saw what happened when you're like that
Yeah.
in that situation. Now, going forward, we are going to do more of these reviews. It's not going to be a weekly thing. It's just going to be when we can do it. But, and going forward, we might do more anime. It just depends on how things go.
Of course.
But overall, Attack on Titan season 1, episodes 1 to 5. What would you overall rate it so far?
What kind of scale are we working with?
Yeah, what's the scale?
1 to 5 Titans.
Okay.
1 to 5 Titans.
Because we've only watched 5 episodes, so.
I'll give it a solid 4 so far.
Okay.
It's not perfect so far. I'm getting very interested in the series alone so far. So, but it's hard to rate something that you're only seeing 5 episodes of. So
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm at 3.5 Titans, and I think it's just because it's early on.
And
But
you're so new
3.5
to anime, too.
I'm new to anime, but it's 3.5 Titans because of the character development and the production value. It's those two things. And I feel like by the time we get through this first season,
Yeah.
I feel like I'll probably up that another Titan. So I'm predicting a 4.5. But
Okay.
We'll see.
question,
Well, we'll see
Robin.
where it is once we're done with the series.
Have you,
Yeah, that's just
Robin? Question that. Have you watched any other animes?
Yeah, I was actually about to ask you that.
I mean, maybe than Dragon Ball Z growing
Okay.
up. Like, I think that's probably Dragon Ball Z.
Basically,
Was
the
the other one.
normal anime as a kid. Dragon
The
Ball.
normal American anime. Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Well, Dragon Ball Z wasn't an American anime.
No, but it was the one that American kids.
It was
were
on Toonami, so that's
Yes.
why.
yeah, for me, I didn't
Exactly.
really grow up watching anime. I mean, other than more than watching Ghibli Studio, and I'm a huge Ghibli. I don't know,
Ghibli,
Ghibli,
and
whatever
whichever.
studio. I'm a huge fan of, but more recently, in the past few years, been watching anime because my friend has suggested anime. So
And then there's me, so I'm gonna make it even worse.
It's true.
But yeah, going forward, there's going to be more of these review episodes. We might do more anime, but I'm really happy I'm getting these guys into it. Specifically, Robin getting him more into anime because I've been like, you
Yeah.
need to watch this anime. Watch it.
I've got nothing but time on my hands now, so
we all have time
Yeah.
on our hands.
it's true.
So before we close out, if you guys want to give out your social media, go ahead. If not, it's up to you.
You follow me on Twitter at Sean Michelle Line, Instagram at Zonzi. Music at Bandcamp. I'm working on music and been working on more photography stuff. So if you guys want to reach me out, and I'm learning more photography, so if you guys want pictures taken, just because I need practice, let me know on my socials.
Sweet.
Robin.
At Mr. Vote Tweets. At Mr. Vote Tweets on Twitter. Facebook, friend request me over on Facebook, of course.
And you guys can find me on here, Instagram, Andrew62592, Twitter, agarish1. You can find all of us at Brick City Blockade. And
That's
until
right.
next time, YouTube, may the force be with you.
Or something like that.
Be a weeb.
Is this going on Brick City Blockade? I don't know what this is going on, but
anyway, thank you, Robin and Sean, for joining me on this.
You know it.
And the next video will be in the future.